Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, as we get ready for the Indianapolis Road Course and the Cup Series and Xfinity Series and then the Truck Series, we kick off playoffs at Lucas Oil, IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park. We are going to go over some of the news of the week in NASCAR Cup Series. We're going to do a playoff preview, so we got 4 videos here for you. And so the playoff preview should be up for the Truck Series, the Truck Series race preview, Xfinity, and now we are at the Cup. Obviously, there's so much news this week in the Cup Series that came out of Pocono. First thing was Petty GMS. Eric Jones, Ty Dillon, both losing 35 points. Obviously, car owner and driver as well in the fines. Rocker panel issues, so obviously something during pre-race that NASCAR did not like. So we docked them points on that. We had the double disqualification, first time in NASCAR history. That first and second place were DQ'd. It's the first time in 62 years that a Cup Series winner was disqualified. Obviously, in third place, Chase Elliott gets the victory. We've all probably seen the video on Twitter of Denny Hamlin drinking champagne from the bottle from the M&M's Fan Appreciation 400 and having the trophy with the little piece of tape in its mouth. Yeah, that's just freaking awesome. I love Denny Hamlin sometimes on Twitter. We also had the 100-point penalty for Front Row Motorsports and Michael Mcdowell. Apparently there was some modifications to body panels. One of the seams, I guess, had putty or something in it, which is a no-no. I know a lot of people couldn't understand why Michael McDowell got the penalty he got, but yet Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch, for having a piece of vinyl under the wrap, got disqualified. From what Scott Miller said on XM Satellite Radio on the XM Speedway with Dave Moody, once when you're at the track, post-race inspection, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and they find something that's against the rules, they disqualify him from the race. Once we leave the track, the results are official. Now, when they take 4 cars they took back to the R&D Center, like they did with Brad Keselowski earlier in the year, with Michael McDowell and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., they take those cars, along with Busch and Hamlin, to the R&D Center. They tear them apart differently, or whatever how they do what they do at the R&D Center. When they find a penalty there, you can't go and disqualify him because the race is already over. The results are official. So that's where they bring in the 100-point penalty at. I love how Denny Hamlin said he would rather had McDowell's penalty, because 100 regular season points for somebody with 2 wins means nothing. But the taking the win away, losing those 5 bonus points, and those with Chase Elliott, that's pretty much a 10-point swing. He got a little discussion on Twitter with somebody over that. I'm like, it's freaking awesome. And then we had Kurt Busch, the qualifying crash, concussion-like symptoms, missed Pocono, will miss Indy as well. Young Ty Gibbs taking over the 45 car. 16th place finish in his Cup Series debut in the 45 car there for Denny Hamlin, 2311 Racing. I love that. There'll be more talk of Ty Gibbs later in this video. Alright, that is the news of the week, and then today we actually found out the 24 team had a generator catch fire on the trailer. Luckily the car wasn't damaged. It looks like it had some black soot or something on the hood that would clean off. But NASCAR let them pull the car out, put it in the garage, keep it safe. Henry Motorsports is getting the backup transporter to Indy as we speak. So they'll have that hopefully for the weekend. So yeah, a lot going on this week. One thing I think NASCAR needs to do, because I know there's a lot of talk about this earlier in the week, when they DQ'd those 2 cars, did they inspect the third place car, Chase Elliott, the same way? And the answer was no, because they already left the track. What I think NASCAR needs to do going forward is, race is over, you tear apart the first 2 cars like you always have. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, they need to stay in the garage. Don't let them leave. You do the normal inspection you do on them, they sit there. You tear apart first and 2nd place, everything is good, everybody leaves. If for some reason this happens again, 3rd place is still sitting there, you can go ahead and inspect it. Once it's on the hauler, you can't inspect it. So hopefully we won't have this again, but very unique circumstances over the weekend. A lot went on with that. Just each day we had this huge ass news, XM satellite radio just like blew up with everything that went on. Now, when it comes to Michael McDowell's 100-point penalty, he is currently, what is he? 26th in points, should be 20th. He was not going to point his way in. He is currently 307 points out of the lead. He was 207 out of the playoffs by points. He has to get a win. As long as he gets a win, is in the top 30. Yes, he will lose those 10 bonus points going to the playoffs, but he would still be in the playoffs. Same way Brad Keselowski. When he lost his 100-point penalty early in the year, he is 335 out. He'll only be 235 out, so he's not pointing his way in. He has to get a win. He has to be top 30 in points, and he would lose. Obviously, if he wins one race, he would start the playoffs -5 versus the 10-point, because he's -10 right now. But yeah, so we'll get to the points here in a moment. NASCAR Cup Series, Verizon 200 at the Glen. So we got last week out of the way. Let's get to this week. So we 200 miles, 82 laps on the road course in Indianapolis. 3 stages, 15, 20, and 47. Everybody's clamoring, let's get back to the Speedway. Let's get back to the Speedway. When we were on the Speedway, people weren't wanting to show up. The racing was okay. I want them back on the Brickyard, the normal Speedway. But I want it with a twist. What I want to see happen, and I said this in the video that I did about the schedule, I want to see them do it the week before Labor Day. Or Memorial Day, sorry, week before Memorial Day. Because you've got people in town for the 500 on Memorial Day weekend. You do the Brickyard 400 that weekend before, people might come in for an extra few days to see it. That's pole weekend for the Indy 500. You throw a NASCAR Cup race in there too, I think you'll get a better turnout. My personal opinion would be the week before that, go to IRP, which they have the road course race at Indianapolis for the in the middle of May for the IndyCar. If you want to do both races, that's fine. I don't care if you do them that close together. Have the Truck Series and Xfinity over at IRP. Have the Cup Series on the road course with the Indy cars mid-May. The following week, you do it on the oval, and then the following week you're at Charlotte. I think you almost have to, if you want that crowd, make it a big deal. You do it right around Indianapolis 500. Boom. You can't do the same weekend because I want the Coke 600 where it's at, and do not change the Coke 600 regardless. We start the year with Daytona, the Coke 600 on Memorial Day. We better leave the freaking Southern 500 on Labor Day. Anything else you can change. All right, last year, first stage winner we had Tyler Reddick. Second stage was Tyler Reddick. Normally on road courses you don't have the stage winner. It's like you either win the stage or you go for the race win. We had 6 drivers finish top 10 in both stages: Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon, Ryan Preece, Ricky Stenhouse, Justin Haley, and Chase Elliott. The top 10 in the race was AJ Allmendinger. We all know what happened there with 2 laps to go. Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe going for the lead. Did or did not Denny push Briscoe off the track? Briscoe goes off the track, comes back on, which he should have stopped. He didn't. He just drove right through Denny Hamlin, spun Denny. Chase got black flag. The winner is 3rd place, AJ Allmendinger, followed by Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Matt DiBenedetto, Kurt Busch, Eric Jones, Justin Haley, Austin Cindric, and Ryan Newman. We had 6 cautions for 25 laps. We had 2 green flag laps right there at the end. On the road courses, so far in 2022, we've had 3 first time winners. So these 3 drivers, Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Tyler Reddick, each got their very first career win ever in the Cup Series on the road course this year. I think we can go 4 for 4 with that. There's only a small number of people in the Cup Series that haven't got a career win. All right. So far this year, Ross Chastain, 4.0 average finish on the 3 road courses. Chase Elliott, Mr. Road Course himself, 4.6. Austin Cindric, 6.6. We knew he was a great road racer in the Xfinity Series. Ryan Blaney, 7.6. Michael McDowell, 8.0. Now, notice that Michael McDowell's team for Arm Motorsports appealed the penalty. Are they going to win? Probably not. But by appealing the penalty, they have their crew chief this week. So this Watkins Glen and Daytona are probably his best chances of getting a victory to get to the playoffs. So I thought that was pretty smart of them, having the crew chief in place for this one and kind of deferring when the crew chief will be out, because we have 5 races left. So we go to Indy, say they end up, NASCAR declines the appeal, 4-race suspension, Michigan, Richmond, Watkins Glen, Daytona, we start the playoffs. So this is going to be Michael Mcdowell's best shot to get into the playoffs. Kevin Harvick 8.3, Chris Buescher 9.6, Alex Bowman 10.0, Daniel Suarez 10.0 with a win, William Byron 12.3, and Tyler Reddick 13.6 with a win. Now, over the last 15 road courses since 2019, Chase Elliott 6.5 average finish with 6 wins, Kyle Larson 10.2 with 3 wins, Ryan Blaney 10.8, Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. each 11.5, Truex with a win, Alex Bowman 11.7, Chris Buescher 12.7, Kevin Harvick 14.4, Tyler Reddick 14.8 with a win, Ross Chastain 16.5 with a win, Christopher Bell 17.4 with a win, AJ Allmendinger 17.6 with a win, and Daniel Suarez 21.9 with a win. 5 races left in the regular season. We know the 5 races. 2 road courses, Daytona, Michigan, and in Richmond. Whew, what a smorgasbord of tracks. What is really neat about this, there is no of the cookie cutter intermediate tracks. We got the road course, we have a 2-mile intermediate 2-mile track, which is the only other 2-mile track on the circuit, California. We have a short track at Richmond, which we know the racing wasn't good before. Hopefully it's better now with different tires. Another road course, and then Daytona. That's going to be a wild card in itself. So we got, with wins, locked into the playoffs, Chase Elliott with 4, Ross Chastain with 2, Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell each with 1, Joey Logano with 2, Kyle Busch, William Byron, Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez, Tyler Reddick, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, Kurt Busch, and Denny Hamlin each with 1. Or Denny Hamlin's got 2, excuse me. 14 different winners. So the only 2 drivers in on points as of right now, Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr. Blaney's plus 105 to the cut line. Martin Truex Jr. is 83 to the cut line. Now, I don't think anybody else besides Blaney and Truex is going to point their way in. Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola, Eric Jones, Austin Dillon, Bubba Walsh, Justin Haley, Chris Buescher, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cole Custer, Michael McDowell, Harrison Burton, Brad Keselowski, Todd Gilliland, and Ty Dillon. They are all eligible to make the playoffs. You have to be top 30 in points, qualify for every race with a win to get in the playoffs. They are eligible, they just need a win. Cody Ware and Corey LaJoie are below 30th. They would have to win and get above in the top 30 to make the playoffs, but they are eligible because they've made all the races. Those are the only 2 drivers. Only 32 drivers have officially made every race this year and eligible for the playoffs. We know Kurt Busch, he did qualify the car at Pocono. Obviously, Ty Gibbs took over, so Denny was still eligible. He gets a waiver for this week. So Kurt Busch right now is the lowest 1-win driver in points. So he has a waiver, but all that waiver says, if he makes the play, if he's eligible for the playoffs. So we have 15 different winners, 16 different winners, and he's the last one with a win. And he's in the top 30 points. He's in the playoffs. But if we have 17 different winners this year, and Kurt Busch is the 17th, basically 17th among all the winners, he's out. The waiver doesn't really do him any good. So basically right now, Kurt's got to pray that he gets better, which hopefully he does. He's got to worry about how many different winners there are. As long as there's less than 16, he's good. If there is 17 different winners and he's the lowest of the 1-win teams, he's got to get enough points to get above it to get in the playoffs. So yeah, there's a lot going on with that right now. Now, my picks to win at Indy. Gotta go with Chase Elliott, Mr. Road Course himself. Hell, Ross Chastain averaging 4.0 road courses this year. Gotta go with him. I think this is Michael McDowell's best shot at making it playoffs went in here. My 4th pick. Kind of proud of this. I'm really hoping it comes out. He's also picked in the Xfinity race as well. He's got 8 wins and 37 Xfinity starts, 18 wins and 47 ARCA starts, 9 wins and 20 starts in the ARCA East and ARCA West. 3 of his 7 wins are 3 wins and 7 road course starts. His Xfinity Series, he's won 21.6% of the races, and ARCA 38.2%, and then ARCA East and West 45%. Yeah, I'm picking the 19-year-old Ty Gibbs in the 45 Monster Energy car. He's my 4th pick to win the Cup Series race. Yes, the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Michael Mcdowell, Ty Gibbs. As soon as they announced he was in for Kurt, there was no doubt in my mind I was picking him. His first Xfinity start was on a road course at Daytona. He won. He's in the Xfinity race. He's one of my picks for the Xfinity race. I'm like, I have to. What's really cool is he's driving the 45. He normally drives the 54. I know there's a lot of talk of Kyle Busch's contract. Is he going to find a sponsor? Is he asking too much money? Does Joe Gibbs want to put Ty in the car? Joe Gibbs has already came out and said that 2023 Ty Gibbs is full-time Xfinity. Ty Gibbs will be in the Cup Series in 24. Martin Truex Jr. just signed that 1-year deal for 23. My speculation would be once Martin's done next year, he leaves and goes somewhere else, or the other option would be in 24 a 4-car team for 2311 and have Ty over there like they did with Eric Jones in Front Row Motorsports. If we remember right, the 20 had Matt Kenseth in it. I think it was Matt Kenseth was in the 20 then. Eric Jones came up a year earlier, was in the 78 or 77 for Front Row Motorsports, partner or teammate with Martin Truex Jr. there. And then the next year he rolled into the 20. I could see them doing something like that because I know Bubba will probably return for 2311 and 24. We got Tyler Reddick in 2311 and 24. Kurt, I mean, and there's actually been talk that this could actually have Kurt retire from this, which is horrible to hear. Somebody as great as he is, we know Dale Jr. because of concussions ended up retiring. So hopefully he gets better, comes back. Maybe 23 is Kurt's last year. But yeah, there's always that possibility as well. Having Ty over at 2311 for a year, Truex comes back, and then get rid of the 19, throw the 54 in there. If Kyle doesn't re-sign with the 18, I could see them doing the Cup 18 like they do Xfinity 18. Put a Trevor Bayne in their car. Put a John Hunter Nemechek or somebody like that, or have a rotation of drivers. They still got the charter. They still got maybe a full-time ride, but yet put people in there like they've been like the All-Star car kind of deal. But I think Kyle will be back. I think they're going to find a sponsor. I actually think, because I put this on Twitter last night, with Camping World saying they're not coming back to sponsor the Truck Series next year, could that mean, because Marcus Lemon, the guy that owns Camping World, is an investor in Rowdy Energy, could that mean maybe Camping World's coming back, kind of jumping back to a sponsor of a car? Maybe Camping World on the Kyle Busch 18? Never know. That's just my speculation here. So that is going to be the preview of the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard NASCAR Cup Series race. We went over everything that's happened in the last news in the last week. 4 picks again: Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Michael Mcdowell, Ty Gibbs. It's going to be a fun race, fun weekend. Make sure you check out the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series playoff preview, the Truck Series race preview, the Xfinity race preview. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader of sports channel content.